Well, Shonda is a magician because, I mean, if you look at the characters on the show and the nasty, nasty stuff they've done, and yet you end up loving them all, right? I mean, Huck's a cold-blooded killer, but how can you not love Huck as played by Guillermo and as written by Shonda? Olivia's done all sorts of horrible things, but as we've discussed, everybody loves her. Jeff Perry's Cyrus, he's, okay to all sorts of terrible things. You kind of love him too. I mean, Shonda just has a way of creating a sort of ambivalent moral universe where no matter what happens, you still sort of have a stake and maybe are rooting for the characters, even when they're wildly ethically challenged.
Everybody in the office is messed up, including herself.
Yeah.
And that's what's so great about Shonda Rhimes. Nothing is simple, everything's complicated, and nothing's black or white, everything's gray.
That's what makes, I think, all the characters so interesting, because we're all so complicated, and we're good and we're bad, all of us.
And every week you don't know, like one week you're like, yeah, I'm so
good,
on that person's side, you know what I mean? And then the next week
they
you
kill
don't...
Verna Thornton, like the president killed
Verna
Thornton,
and the Supreme Court Justice, or like Huck is a torturer one week, and you're like, whoa, this dude is super messed up, and then the next week he's like so sweet,
yeah,
he's
his
watching a family,
murdered.
and it's just like.
I think
she's a genius.
She's
first
a genius.
of all,
she took her time in finding us,
she did.
and then she took her time developing the characters in which we play.
How long did it take to find you? When you say
I
that.
think I believe I was the first one hired. Our cast.
She had met you.
Yeah,
right?
we met before.
Years before. Yeah.
She has this thing where she never forgets, and she knows what it is. I mean, she's auditioned for Shonda a billion times, Katie's a billion times. She had never met Carrie or myself, but when we met, we had a meeting, and the next day I got an offer because I think she already knew. When I read the dialogue of the first monologue, I was like, she wrote it for me. I knew in my heart, I was like, I got to do this show, and I think
mine was the opposite situation. She was looking for Abby for a long time. She tested a bunch of people before she got to my batch of
completely different
testing.
type.
Yeah, Abby was described as round, cheery, about 14 years younger than me, knits a lot, has a lot of cats. So I was like, well, yeah, but it doesn't matter because I connected to the dialogue so quickly. She did tell me once that when I walked through the door, she knew that I was Abby. She said, I saw you, and it was like instantly knew. And
yeah, no, not gorgeous. Shonda put gorgeous words into my mouth at all times. But I remember something from the beginning. The back alleys, the backstabbing, back alley, dirty part of this job. Fitz, you have no stomach for, and it is my hallelujah, heroin, and reason to breathe. Was a gorgeous sentiment that Cyrus believes in. You know, and that he knows about himself.
Yeah.
And there he lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what Shonda captures so brilliantly is a character's humanity. You know, she understands that real people are not all good and all bad, that real people fall somewhere in the gray and they're doing the best they can with the options in front of them, and she's not afraid to expose those flaws and that process and that journey, which is much more fun for us as actors, and I think it's really great for audiences because they identify with human beings as opposed to prototypes.
I think that's what the audience is really responding to about this show, and it's what's fresh and unique about what Shonda does in her writing. And she's not afraid of making people people. Right. And she takes everything to the extreme in terms of situations. So we're just like two normal people, except I happen to be the President of the United States, and she's this super powerful Uber woman, you know.
It's great.